What is going on, YouTube? Hit back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at XRP, Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum. If you have time, obviously the S&P 500. Specifically in today's episode, really just to wrap our heads around what exactly is going on in the market. We know that the past couple of days, probably a week by now, we've seen a massive, and I mean massive, explosion in cryptocurrency in the market as a whole. We've seen coins go to all-time highs. We've seen coins go to places and prices that we haven't seen in 3+ years, and it's honestly incredible. But I feel like at this moment, now that we have finally gotten to that point, it's been months on months on months of just waiting and hoping, and we finally have gotten to that point. I feel like a lot of people are asking themselves, well, what now? And that's really what I want to cover in today's video. What now is going to happen? Are we going to just continue to pump higher? Are we going to see major reversals? Are we just going to flatline out and trade sideways? These are questions that obviously I'd like to know, and I feel like you guys would like to know too. And I've definitely picked up a few interesting things last night and the day before that I'd like to share with you guys today. So without further ado, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, smash the like button, as this does help support the YouTube algorithm. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, CryptoVOfficial, and let's jump into today's episode. Alright guys, so yesterday's video I put out something basically saying that XRP Ripple is headed back to all-time highs, and I want to continue talking about that too. Basically, we will jump into discussing what I think about the markets moving up higher. I do believe that we are going to be headed to all-time highs within XRP and some of the other cryptocurrencies very soon, but I don't think it's going to happen around the corner. I think it's going to take a little bit longer than some of you guys are anticipating, but without discussing that stuff just yet, I do also want to mention that we are still doing our $200 giveaway of free cryptocurrency. So if you guys were interested in checking it out, we've had over 1,500 people enter it so far. It's completely free. I did link it in the description down below. Definitely make sure to take advantage of it. There's only 11 days left in the giveaway before we draw the winner. So definitely make sure you're in it. I mean, I've done these before and people are extremely happy when they do win $200. So definitely make sure to just enter it down below. You got to be in it to win it. Otherwise, moving into the actual technical analysis side of things, you can see on the current coin market cap, we do have some interesting movements. I mean, for the most part, coins are moving up. Coins really aren't sitting as much as they used to be. They definitely are consolidating right now, but we're definitely, at some pretty incredible levels in prices. Bitcoin above all-time highs, Ethereum at over $600, XRP at 57 cents, Litecoin over $100. These are prices, most of us probably never thought we would see in a long time, and it's crazy to see how the markets look now and what actually is in the, current top 10 of cryptocurrency. So it is interesting. But to discuss what I was referring to earlier is just to jump right into things right now, to discuss the way these markets are looking, to figure out whether or not we're headed higher, whether or not XRP is going to all-time highs. I'm going to try to answer this as honest as I can. So I do believe that the markets are going to be headed to all-time highs. I do believe XRP and the other cryptocurrencies are going to be headed to all-time highs, the ones that have not already been there or retested there. But I don't think XRP is going to hit it just this second. Unfortunately, we didn't see XRP explode to, $3 the same time Bitcoin and Litecoin did. We just didn't see it. It didn't happen. But what we do know is that these coins are definitely going to play catch up very soon. Obviously, Bitcoin taking a kind of halt right now, kind of, teeter-tottering on its edge, is going to influence these cryptocurrencies in a positive or negative way. Granted, the markets seem to be in sync again. So granted, if we see Bitcoin drop lower, there's a good chance these cryptocurrencies like XRP and Litecoin are going to follow pursuit and head downwards as well. But I do believe in the next upcoming months, if not years, we are definitely going to see these prices go higher. I mean, just the way that the economy is looking, just the way things are, being withheld and the way the markets are, dropping so steadily and then correcting just as quickly. There's definitely uncertainty now in the economy. And with that knowledge comes the fact that XRP is another area for investors to move their, fiat dollars into, and just play it safe, or really just take an opportunity to invest into something that could, that or once was overlooked. So granted, I do believe XRP is going to be heading up long term eventually, maybe in the next couple of months. But to focus now on the day-to-day sort of price movements, I do have some very interesting things to discuss. It was mainly figured out in last night's video, yesterday's video, and today is just something we really, I think, should discuss and talk about. As you guys saw in the title of today's video, we have to consider whether or not we're going to be headed higher or headed lower. And what we do know is that these coins, or at least Bitcoin, is in all-time highs. That means that there's really no prior knowledge in regards to prices being this high ever. It was never this high. We have never seen a price of Bitcoin go all the way up to these levels. The highest we've been was close to 19,877. So we are definitely in some uncharted territory. So we have to consider that we have to use some prior technical analysis to help us gauge what could be coming for this market. And really, yesterday I did discover this, and I thought it was fairly interesting. So yesterday's video, we found kind of late into the video the fact, and that kind of took me off topic from discussing XRP, so I do apologize for those that watched yesterday, but we did discover that there was sort of a ascending triangle or ascending channel forming on this coin, and this fractal that formed basically might hold the key into where the next near movements are for Bitcoin and the rest of the market. So what's interesting is very similar to the S&P 500, where we have a massive, you can't see it now because I'm on the daily, but a massive ascending fractal forming too. You can see it clearer now. It's very similar to what's forming on Bitcoin, and that to me is very interesting. Granted, we've seen how the past couple of years in the S&P 500 has formed, and we might see the same thing happen within Bitcoin. So granted, we do have a clear top price ceiling, we do have a price floor, where the price does not want to break through on the bottom end, and it almost always reverses back to the upside once we retest that. Now, what's interesting to me is the fact that it also happens on the top end. Every time we retest the top, ever since I'd say back in October, so we've had all of October, November, and now into December, where we've hit this top resistance, we either consolidate out like stairs or we end up correcting down at a fairly violent rate. And you can see what it is I'm referring to. This is kind of like the stepping stone movement that we've seen until about a couple of weeks ago. That's how the markets have been playing out. But for the most part, it was a stepping stone-like pattern. What's interesting now is, granted, every single time, regardless of the pattern, it does tend to break away or break down from that resistance, and it doesn't go above it. And that is very interesting to me because we're currently retesting that right now. And why does this matter to you guys? Well, this does, and really, really looks to be like some sort of correction or consolidation might form. It looks like we may have hit the top for right now. Granted, this is still an ascending fractal. This is still going to pump the price up higher and higher and higher as we slowly move into, 2021. But for right now, we have to consider the option that this might be the consolidation that the market needs to pump higher. With, Bitcoin being overbought at 80, with the markets being overextended on the MACD, they all are beautiful reasons for a small correction or dip to happen in the price. And there's a good chance we're going to see this short. There's a good chance we might have to short this back down to about 23,000, back down to 22,000. This is an option. And just to give you guys my risk, just to show you guys things that we, can look at, I did just last night put in a trade. We margined this. We did 25 times, and I normally don't share this with you guys, but here's a trade to just show you the likelihood that Bitcoin is going to correct lower, that Bitcoin is going to be a short for right now. And this is something that, most people are going to overlook. Most people aren't going to take the risk, but I'm just showing you the possibilities that this is going to dip, and it's going to dip hard. So I also want to discuss how you can cover yourself. So last night, we put in a leverage trade, 25 times leverage trade on $4,000. I mean, you guys can do the math, how much money we're playing around with right now. But with a $4,000 margin times 25, we're playing around with $100,000. We're playing around with 100,000, buying power. That's a lot of money for a $4,000 margin. $4,000 is just to cover our losses. If we hit below there, we'll liquidate. It will happen automatically. But obviously the goal is for that not to happen. So we bought in at 23,489 into Bitcoin. Currently, Bitcoin is 23,327. We did actually put in a stop loss. And for those asking, how do you do that? Once you create the order, you click settings and you can tweak your stop loss and your take profit, TP. As you can see, the take profit is much higher. We're at 20,670, and we can easily adjust these that a lot of you guys had questions with. It's as simple as clicking settings and then readjusting your position. And a lot of people ask, well, how do you readjust your position once you're in the market? It's simple. We have the stop loss currently at 23,925. The market's currently 23,367. Notice my loss would be about 46%. We can lower this. It would be about an $1,850 loss. If we lower this to 1,800, we're now at a 45% loss at 23.9. We're currently at 23.380. We can lower this even more, drop it down to 1,600. Currently, the price will sell off at 23.866. We could drop it even more if we wanted to 1,500. And I think I'm going to stick with that at 23.81. That gives us still a little bit of room. We just set it up successfully, easily just moved our stop losses down. This is to minimize the amount of loss and eventually enter us into what could be a constant profit-taking zone. Market dumps more, we move our stop loss down just a little bit lower. And this happens over and over and over again. It's extremely easy. Hopefully this benefits you guys. So what did we do? We moved our price. We opened at 23,489 with a $4,000 margin leveraged by 25 times with $100,000 in buying power. Stop loss was currently moved just a little bit lower from 23,950 now to 23,841. That gives us about a 38% loss if we do manage to hit that. Our current potential gain is 475. If I close this right now, I'll be up $500 with a 12% return on my investment. I opened this yesterday. You can see this was about 8:40 p.m. That's when I opened the trade. 12:19 yesterday at 8:40 p.m. This goes by, the military time. So 20 minus 12 would be 8:30. So that's pretty much where my head's at. So that's kind of my analysis. That's kind of my theory. I do believe this is going to short. I do believe we are going to correct lower. It's very possible we don't. But I do have stop loss, in position that will only minimize our losses to about, I would say, close to 38%. And I could get the general guarantee right here by clicking settings. It's a 37% loss if we do end up, correcting the other side. So it is a gamble, but it's an educated gamble. We can sell right now and collect our profits. We can move the stop loss down to cover our tracks and just, eventually enter a market where we're just constantly taking money. We do have a take profit at 20,670. If we do end up going that low, I'll obviously just tweak it a little bit higher. But otherwise, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up the market. Definitely check out Bityard if you're interested. Definitely make sure to follow me on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.